Being interviewed is Cody. Cody, if you could state your full name.
Cody Blaine Jones.
Okay, you gotta speak up, brother.
Cody Blaine Jones.
Okay, could you spell your middle name?
Blaine.
Cody, if you could raise your right hand for me. You swear the statement you're about to provide me with the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Cody, today we made contact with you up at Beef O'Brady's, and I ultimately placed you in my truck in handcuffs and brought you down here to the sheriff's office. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when we got down here to the sheriff's office, I went ahead and advised you of your rights. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I didn't talk to you, ask you any questions about what we're going to come down here and talk about until after I advised you of your rights. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Those rights, did you understand all your rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about your rights I was unable to answer?
No, sir.
Have I beaten you, coerced you, anything like that to get you to talk to me?
I hope not. No, sir.
Okay. All right. So, Cody, let's just kind of take this through the very beginning of it to recent. And then after we go through the facts, then we'll cover why this happened, what were the intentions, and what's been going on in your life. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how long ago, what we're fixing to talk about, how long ago did this start happening?
Around the time of my brother's arrest.
Okay. Was that when you had reached out to me because you weren't happy with that arrest?
I wasn't happy with the circumstances that led to the arrest, but then I felt guilty about I know I was doing the right thing, but...
Okay. And that was the physical altercation your brother got arrested for?
No, not that time. The recent one, the sex charge that I... The DCF thing.
Okay. That's your brother?
It's like my brother.
Okay. I didn't realize
I hold
that.
everybody accountable.
Okay.
Including myself.
All right. Probably was a pretty tough phone call to make, which we'll get to that in a minute, because I think that has, obviously, that's bringing tears to your eyes. So to do that to somebody you consider a brother, obviously, you got a pretty good heart to do the right thing. So that being said, so is that about the time you started trying to work on what we're fixing to talk about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did this require any special equipment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how did you acquire that equipment?
I just said, it was all just, none of it was really expensive, and I put back money from working, and I've been working for myself, so I just purchased it a little bit at a time, as I was learning what to do, kind of how it worked, I was teaching myself the ropes of everything. I just purchased, $50 piece of equipment here, and then a $100 radio there, and...
Okay. Do you know what any of the equipment's like the technical name of the equipment?
I know the technical name of all of it.
Okay. What's the names of it?
You mean just everything in totality?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, I started out with an EFJ 5100, or 51ES actually is what it was, which is the radio. And the programming cable, software-wise, hold on, I somehow twisted this around myself. I don't know how the hell I pulled that off. I'm sorry. I somehow flipped that around on myself. Up, going right there. Here we go.
Okay. All right. So you got the radio and then the program, the software and stuff. What was that called?
PC configure.
PC configure.
Yeah, that. And then you had to have the programming cables. The pinouts different on every radio.
Okay.
Which is essentially how you program it. You have the you just pretty much clip it to where y'all's mics would go.
Okay. And then that's how you program the radio to get our frequency, so that you can start basically tapping into our airways?
Yeah, well, okay, sorry, I did leave something out, of course.
Okay.
For the first one was, Washington County was first. And that was just because they were much simpler. It was literally just a color code, a talk group, and a frequency number.
Okay.
So, sorry, I did leave that out. That was around that same time that I was, first, given, or, first had I was having battles with myself about what to do with that situation.
Okay, so that was at the very beginning of the cable Mayo.
Yeah, that was
stuff.
like around the time that I reached out to you, and then some of it continued, further down as I just kind of, we'll talk about what led in it, but essentially That was, like I said, that was simple because it was just a frequency, a color code, and a talk group. With the SmartNet system, you have to have a system key, but, whoever manages y'all's system here made a lot of mistakes in setting it up.
Okay.
It's just not secure at all.
So what mistakes did they make to make it not secure?
Just didn't. I really want to tell you, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think about what I should say. Not that I'm going to be dishonest. It's not that I want to lie to you. I just don't know if I should tell you because I want to do the right thing.
Is this something that could make our system more secure if you were to say this?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's the only bargaining chip I have.
Okay, that's fair enough. So let me ask you this: as far as the system, when was it that you started trying to get into ours? It looks like the first time you actually got on the radio with us was on December 15th. So how many days prior to
what
that?
What badge number was that?
I believe 19.
That wasn't the first time, I don't think, then.
So you had done it several times prior?
I'm trying to remember. I know I used... That might have been the first time with SOE, actually, so I think I used Panama City before that.
Okay.
Whose badge number is 19, by the way?
I can't tell you that. But I think you know who it is.
No, I really didn't. It was low badge number, supervisor number. That's all I knew. Less questions than we use that. Way less questions, actually.
I got you.
Most people don't want to say, they don't
So
want to question it.
You knew by using a lower number or a supervisor number that the person's a lot more
less likely
to question you and to do what you ask them to do on the radio and give you the information pretty quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's fair enough.
All
right, so let me ask you this. On the 15th, when you radioed into ours, do you recall what information you tried to get?
Was it a name or a license plate?
It was a name.
I'll be honest,
You having a hard time remembering from the stuff you were doing?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly which one it was because, obviously, they happen a handful of times, so.
Saturday, December 15, 2018, at 11:41 p.m., with a GMT offset of -360 minutes. Agent ID is 302. Extension is 42.
19 Delta. 10.9, my name is UV.
Before it plays the rest, do you remember who that person is you're asking for the 1029 on? We discussed it earlier in here.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. December the 15th, so that was the girl? That's the first one y'all know of?
Right now, like I said, I just got started on this yesterday. They're all working on this. So
I'll make it a lot easier on y'all.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, just...
all that stuff will be taken into consideration. I can't promise you it's going to get you out of this or get you out of that, but the more cooperative you are, the more people are probably going to, you know what I'm saying? So...
I know. That's
so when's the first time you did a thing? And I ain't trying to cut through the chase, but they've got to listen to this and type all this, so I don't want to just ramble on.
Yeah.
When's the first time you did it?
It would have had to be early December, probably.
Okay.
Like I said, I obviously Panama City was before y'all.
Yeah.
Because Panama City is a little more disorganized.
Okay.
I didn't want to, because, y'all have more deputies, but y'all are a little more organized with how y'all manage things.
Okay.
So,
So when you ran this girl, can you recall her name? Getting back to that.
Jessica,
Davis?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's Davis, yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say Davis or Davis, yeah.
So Jessica Davis, what was the point in running her?
She had said something about her having a warrant, something about... I know we talked about that, but I'm trying to remember the word she used, so I'm not just saying something. think she said she was, like I said, I mean, and I know at the time she was driving a car when she wasn't supposed to be driving too, so that's why she was worried about it, because the plates were stolen or something.
Okay.
And she, and, you know, honestly, I was interested if she did have a warrant, and if so, you know, I was going to try to reach out to somebody. I don't know who I was going to, but I have a handful of people that I know here. You know, a couple with SID, a couple with CID.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Where were you at when you did that transmission?
You know that already?
I'm asking you that.
Well, no, I was curious if you actually knew.
Somebody may know. Like I said, I was off yesterday. I got on this about 4 hours ago, so I don't know every bit of in and out.
I was at a house over on Lee Drive.
Okay. And what all this equipment that you got, is it basically a laptop, or is it just a handheld radio at that point?
I just had a handheld.
Okay.
A portable.
So once you get this programmed, then all you got to have is the handheld, and you can do everything you want to do, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it was, because, you know, a good handheld will store every channel you have on the TRS. The reason why I had like I said, I have like 7 or 8 radios.
Okay.
They're cheap, you know.
I got you.
$75, $100, you can get one. But the reason why you have so many is because they're y'all's radio IDs. I can program to y'all's radio's IDs. That's the reason why whenever I key up and set a badge number, it was able to. There was really no question also because it was authenticated already. It popped up on the dispatcher screen who was talking.
I got you.
You know, because it was all. I mean, then I had, you know, radio ID set up for each different.
Handheld.
Yeah, portable. But I'm saying, like, you know, one was, you know, I had 2 for the sheriff's office, 1 for Panama City.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So for the sake of this, so you were trying to see if she had a warrant. Who all was present when you were on the radio checking that?
Oh, it was just her, I, and some guy I've never even. No, actually, he was out of the room at that point.
You know what his name was?
I couldn't tell you, honestly. I mean, I don't know.
Was she friends with Jessica?
Yeah, yeah. They knew each other. He was like some. Honestly, I can't.
Was he a boyfriend?
No.
Okay.
He was some like backwoods redneck,
okay.
like Alabama person. I don't know how to describe it.
Jessica would know who that is.
Yeah.
All right, so she was there when you ran her, and obviously it comes back no warrants. When do you start working on Washington County?
Well, no, it didn't. No, I said Washington County was first.
Okay, so Washington County was before.
Yeah,
Okay.
Washington County, first time I ever.
That's right, because you said it was easier to get into theirs.
Yeah. I was able to do that a lot easier.
Do you recall what all you ran on Washington County's channels?
It was only like 2 tags and trying to think. I may have run a name. Like I said, I mean, I use a handful. I'm not trying to be dishonest.
That's
I
all
really
right.
don't know which
Do you
ones.
recall the name? Or what ID number you would be calling in as?
Oh, no. Washington County, I just made up stuff. It was their small department. Like 16 deputies or something.
Okay. All right, so the tag number, do you remember a specific tag that you ran?
ARF, DA4, Edward Robert Frank, David 84.
Okay, and whose tag was that?
No, my brother's tag.
Okay, and that's the same brother you turned in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As far as this equipment, let me ask you a question. Did you get involved, or did you do something on the radio last night?
I had it with me last night. Oh yeah, as I was telling Craig, one of my radios, and I reprogram them all the time. But one of the side effects I had with using because, you know, obviously Motorola sells their software, you can't just get it. One of my radios is a Motorola. I ended up getting some XTS 5000s, which are what y'all would have used probably about like 10 years ago.
Okay.
And one of the issues I did have was it would set off the emergency if I didn't disable it whenever I put the code plug in.
Okay,
So
so
if
you
I forgot to
weren't...
disable the emergency, it would automatically start. It would, after I could accidentally hit the push talks, I finally figured out a TX inhibit those. So a lot of times I did more monitoring than I did anything.
So let me ask you this. Whenever you sent an alert code off one of those, it was not intentional?
That's the reason why I always turned off the radio or try to get it to shut down real quick because...
So what was it you were doing that would make it automatically do that unintentionally?
Sometimes I just, like whenever if I had it with me, I'd bump it, and whenever I bump push talk or something,
it would send the alert.
And it beeped whenever it did, so it would go beep beep, and I was like, that's the reason why, whenever the alerts were sending it, the radio went off.
I got you.
I mean, you can notice the radios didn't really stay on whenever the alerts came in.
Let me ask you a question. At one point, I think Washington County actually shut one radio down. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what you did in return back to them?
Yeah, I turned that same radio back on about 5 minutes later, and basically, I guess, return the favor.
Okay. Do you remember maybe having a conversation, telling them, look, basically, y'all leave me alone, I'll leave you alone kind of conversation?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you remember, I mean, what was your intentions on returning the favor?
Just to get them off my back.
Okay.
I knew at that point they were going to be pissed off, so I just figured, hey, look, if y'all leave me alone, just let me stay out of y'all's hair, y'all stay out of mine, we can mutually coincide.
Okay. That's fair enough. What were your intentions when you were running this? Were you going to use any of this stuff adversely against anybody? What was your intentions on trying to get this information?
I was just interested to see how I could do it. They don't give you any information you could really use. They don't give you socials. They don't. Well, I mean, you probably asked for them, but I never asked for any socials. I never asked for anything besides, basic vehicle information. Which is what you already know. If you run a license plate, you don't get on radio. They don't give you, but basically, owner, make, model, color, and if it's expired or not. And if it's reported stolen, but I've never had one come back like that, so I mean...
Okay. What about when you're running the individuals?
Yeah, that was mainly to see if I was interested to see if I could even do it. And what would return, which there was no adverse reason for doing it. I did it because I was just stupid, I guess, just bored, so I was just interested I could.
Okay. And I think in a pre-interview you said, obviously I know you for the last 7 years, you're pretty smart. What was going on in your mind when you decided to start doing this?
I was trying to break myself out of I was kind of felt like I was stuck in a rut for a little while. I spent time with my brother all the time, and then I found out how young the girl he was seeing was, and that's one thing that I don't believe in is, you don't mess with kids. Kids are innocent, So, I turned to me, so it was the right thing to do.
Has that been eating at you some?
Every time I see his kids.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. In the process of doing this stuff, did you ever backslide and maybe turn to any kind of substances to kind of cope with this stuff? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Were you under the influence of that stuff when you made the decisions to do some of this stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any of this stuff that you did, was any of it in the presence of anybody other than Jessica and that other guy? You can't remember his name?
I told a couple people that I did it. I did it on the phone once or twice, but it's not like... I was pretty private about doing it just because of the fact that, I knew that, that'd be just what somebody needs, to try to get out of their situation.
Okay. Can you give me any of those people that maybe know or have knowledge of you doing it?
I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Okay.
But nobody else knows anything that could be detrimental to y'all.
So nobody else knows how to do this to your knowledge?
I can guarantee you nobody else knows how to do it in Bay County, period. Besides people who do it for a living, like system administrators.
Okay. All right. And as far as this equipment goes, you stated that it's not at your house and it's not at the address. Is that correct? Or is there some stuff there that we need to get?
Let me think of the proper way to put it. The radios aren't there.
Okay. What is there? Is it just the computer and the software?
No, the computer's not there. The programming cables are.
The programming cables
Promise me you're not going to go kicking my door to serve a warrant. I'm going to give it over to you.
Okay, listen to me. If I'm not telling you we're getting a warrant, we're not doing all this stuff. Obviously, we need to get this stuff back.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. If you give me consent that we can go over there and get the cables, obviously I'm going to have to walk wherever you walk to go in and get this stuff,
Yeah,
okay?
if you'll take me, I'll give it all over to you.
So I'll take you over there, and I've got to stay with you, okay?
I know.
So if we can go in there and get whatever cables and computer, whatever has anything to do with anything, then we can do that, okay?
I'll be completely cooperative with you.
Okay. And then you're willing to take us to where the radios are?
Mm-hmm.
And how many did you say you had?
I have 4 portables, 2 mobiles.
Okay. I thought a minute ago you said you had 8 or 9 of them.
Okay, sorry, no. There's the one that's used for Washington County. I won't count it because it's a cheap radio.
Let me make this clear. Any radio that can communicate with any
Law enforcement.
Yes.
I got it. Yeah.
Are all those together somewhere, or are they in a couple different spots?
I mean, there's 2 of them, 3 of them. 3 of them are together, and the rest of them are together.
Okay. So we got 2 different spots to go to get the radios.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are they pretty close to your house, or are they all over town?
Oh, no, they're on the way. There's one we got to stop at on the way, and there's one we got to stop at near my house.
Okay. Do I have to go into any house to get any of these?
To get some of it, you'll have to go into the cables and stuff. I told you are in my house. I can give you permission to go there, so
Okay.
you won't have to go into any other houses. No,
Okay. So the rest of the stuff is on the outside of a house,
not even on the outside of a house.
but it's not in a house or a structure.
No, sir.
Okay.
You won't have to go.
Who all is at Mary Ann right now?
Some a couple people that I consider family, and but she came to see me, and I blew her off to. She told me not to go.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you think to add or take away from this statement at this time?
No.
The statement is being conducted by Investigator Turner of the Bay County Sheriff's Office. Today's date is January 4th, 2018. The current time is 3:11 p.m. This interview is in reference to Bay County Sheriff's Office case number 2018-101829. This is in reference to a case involving the use of some radios on the Sheriff's Office channels, and I'm present with an individual that's involved in this case. Ma'am, can you please state and spell your full name?
It's Jessica Ann Marie Davis, JESSICAANNE-MARIE, Davis, DAVIS.
Okay, your date of birth, please.
92
Your telephone number?
850. Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Davis, can you please raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, put your hand out. Thank you. Ms. Davis, myself and some other investigators went over to your house on Lee Drive earlier today, and we detained you for our investigation since we've been kind of looking into this, and transported you to the Sheriff's Office. Is that correct?
Yes.
Prior to being transported to the office, my partner, Investigator Evans, read you a Miranda warning off of a card that he had. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember the rights that he advised you of?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about those?
No.
Having your rights in mind, do you wish to continue speaking to me right now?
I'm sorry?
Having your rights in mind, do you wish to continue talking to me?
Yes.
Okay. We spoke in the car a little bit to try and clarify some issues around a case that we've been investigating where an individual has been using walkie-talkies or radios and been communicating with our communications center. Back in, it's been, I guess, probably about 3 or 4 weeks now, some officers came by and located you and asked you if you knew anything or had any information after your name was ran on our radios. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember who came by and talked to you?
I can't actually remember his name, the officer that I spoke to.
Could it be Lieutenant Jinks?
Yes, Jinx.
Okay. And do you remember specifically what he asked you about?
Yes, he asked me if I knew anything about anybody possibly impersonating or like pretending to be a law enforcement, somebody, a cop or something like that, and I told him no.
Okay. Was that answer that you gave him on that day, was that totally truthful?
No.
Okay. I also spoke to you about it whenever we first got in the car, and you told me you really didn't know too much about it, and I kind of confronted you a little bit while we were riding here to the office. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And after that, you seemed to be providing straightforward and truthful answers. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the fact that you told us that you didn't know anything in the beginning, and now we've kind of moved on, you do have a little bit of knowledge about some stuff that was going on. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell me what it is that you know?
One evening, I was at home where I actually just moved in, and
Okay, you were at your house on Lee Drive in Callaway,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
About how long ago was this night that you're referring
About 3 weeks ago, maybe.
About 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago. Okay.
And a gentleman that I never met before in my life came over there, and I didn't even know like why he was there, but then again I had just moved in, so you know what I'm saying, I didn't know if it was my roommate's friend or whatever.
Can you describe this person to me?
He's tall, kind of goofy looking. I don't really know how to.
Okay. About how old do you think he is?
Young. Maybe 21, 22 maybe.
21 or 22?
Yeah.
Is he a white guy, a black guy,
White,
an Asian
tall
guy?
white guy. Wears glasses.
So a white guy wears glasses. You know his hair color?
Like dirty blonde.
Okay. Do
Light
you know his name?
Cody. I believe his last name is Jones.
You believe it's Cody Jones?
Yes.
Okay. And who else was at the house with you that evening?
My roommate Lee was in there, but I don't think he was present in the living room. I think he was in his bedroom at the time of the whole incident.
Okay.
Occurring.
How long total was Cody over at your house that evening?
Maybe 45 minutes the most.
Okay. Did you let him in, or did your roommate, Mr. Butler, let him in? Do you remember?
I'm not really. I didn't let him in. So, I mean, I guess he had to have let him in. I was in my bedroom.
Okay. So during your interaction with Cody, what happened in the house?
He came in and he had a police. Well, I didn't know it was a police radio, but he had a radio that was like, you know, you can listen to, like, you can download an app and you can listen to, like, people talk over the radio and whatever.
Uh-huh.
Well, I heard it, and I asked him about it, and he told me that it was, in fact, the Bay County Sheriff's radio system or whatever, and he was telling me that he could run names and do all this stuff, and that they, like he was a cop. And, I was just basically he just told me he was full of shit. And he was like, really? Well, watch this. And he's like, what's your name? And I told him my name. And he said...
Did you give him any information other than your name?
And my birthday.
Your name and birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And when it came back, he like looked like he was like really surprised and like shocked, and it scared me.
Did he talk on the radio and give them your name?
Mm-hmm.
Were you present when he did that?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
It scared me because he told me that if they didn't tell him any information that made him call in, that it was that I had an open investigation against me or something, or I could possibly have a warrant. And it scared me. And I asked him if, like, because he was leaving, I asked him if there's any information, like any way that I could talk to him to see if he could check into it further, because it scared me. I thought I was in trouble for something. He gave me a code to be able to text him through this app that he put on my phone for me. And I messaged him from it trying to get information about it, and he did message me back and told me that it came back, everything was fine. And then I told him, like, right after that, because the police started looking for me really heavily that evening, like a couple hours later. Mm-hmm. And I tried to get a hold of him, couldn't get a hold of him. And then finally I got in touch with him, and he told me that it had been taken care of and not to worry about it.
Okay. Do you remember what he said on the radio, like specifically?
I just remember he said Jessica Davis, and then he, like, Alpha, Mega, I don't know, all those, like, weird letters, and...
Like phonetics is what we refer to him as?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
And then, 92 for my birthday, and, they waited, and then when it came back, they told me that they told him he needed to call in, and then that was pretty much it, because he didn't call in.
Okay. Did he, when he said that he would check to make sure that you were not wanted or didn't have anything against you, did he say anything about how he was going to do that?
No, he didn't tell me anything about it. And I'm kind of like technology illiterate, so he wouldn't have made sense to me anyway.
Okay. You said Mr. Butler was at the house, but you don't believe he was present whenever this happened?
Yeah, I think he was in his bedroom. And I was out there talking to the kid. I mean, honestly, I was kind of intrigued at what he was saying, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't believe him. I thought he was full of just making stuff up.
Okay. Other than that night, have you ever made contact with that individual at all?
And I've never seen him since then either.
Okay. Has everything you said in this statement true and honest to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Is there anything that happened that you'd like to add or take away? Or that you'd like to tell me about that I haven't asked you about specifically?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I do have one question I just thought about. Is there a reason that whenever Lieutenant Jinks came and asked you about the incident, why you didn't tell him that this kid was at the house and ran your information?
Yeah, it scared me. I didn't know like why it was so like serious. Like when I had like all these cops going everywhere looking for me and everything, it just freaked me out. And I really didn't want to get anybody in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand the seriousness of the situation. And when I spoke to Cody that night prior, like when he ran my name, he told me that I believe that he was on probation and everything. And I've been in trouble before, and it sucks. Basically, I wasn't trying to really protect anybody, but I didn't understand the seriousness of the situation at the time.
Has everything you said in this statement true and honest to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Can you please state your name again as if you're signing a document?
Jessica Ann Marie Davis.
Well, it's, like I said, this case is not mine.
Well, I meant like for this current case.
The
Cody situation.
Cody's being charged with a whole bunch of different stuff.
Right. Well,
so,
mine, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what your involvement is, or how whoever the case agent on this one here, what they're going to end up doing with it. I honestly don't know yet. They're driving Cody around, basically trying to get the equipment that he's using. He's got a whole mess of it. So that's the reason they're not here right now. And I'm just trying to fill in and get a statement and stuff like that. I was under the impression that whenever we went and got you, that we'd come back and that we'd have all this other stuff finished where they would be able to talk to you. But they're not here right now to do that, so I'm fixing to have to call them and tell them what is going on and what you told me about.
Because I really do. I've got to be at work.
Okay.
It's like super important. So if I'm not being like arrested or anything, if there's anything that they can do, I'll talk to you again later or whatever you need me to do. I don't care.
Okay. I'll figure out. We'll go from there. Okay.